or good afternoon. Yeah. So let me just kind of ask in the room, who knows about Playground more than just heard the word? Yeah. So you used it. Yeah. Who did their own blueprints already? Okay. Look around the room. Those are the people that are going to help you when you're stuck in my workshop. And sometimes you just kind of need to turn left or turn right. What are we doing? Where are we going? Yeah, and I have a little QR code where you can go and say, okay, this is to follow along or to catch up. Because I know it's really hard for a whole group of, I don't know, 50 people to come along with the presenter. And but I hope you still get something out of it. But we're giving another few minutes so everybody can come in after lunch and get into their seat. So we probably take another 2 or 3 minutes. So, but I'm really glad you're here. Yeah. Yeah. So where's everybody coming from? Are you from Europe? Who is from Europe? All right. Who is from America? South or North? All right. Not so many. Yeah. And who's from Africa? Oh, we need to change that. We need to go to Africa. Yeah, because there's a wonderful community in Africa, and they're doing some great things with students and colleges. And actually, there's a place in Uganda who does the governmental institutions mandate WordPress for their IT learnings in school. So it's really cool to use WordPress for that. But you're not here to learn about that. So I know. But if you ever can read about it, there was one talk last year in Torino about that project, and it's still stuck with me. So you see how impressive that was. Yeah. Oh, right. Yeah, 2 more minutes and then we're going to start. So for this workshop, you only need your laptop, but you need your browser open. And if you want to go to playground.wordpress.net, that gives you already a start on that. But I'm going to repeat that, of course, later on. Awkward silence. I can handle that. Who can't handle awkward silence? Okay. Stephanie, come and talk to me. Yeah. It's when you ask questions as a teacher and you have to wait people to, it's kind of, awkward. All right. I think I can't bear it anymore. I'm going to start. So, okay, welcome to the workshop, the second workshop of this day, today on From Zero to Demo, Mastering WordPress Playground with Blueprints. Go this way here. My name is Birgit Pauli-Haag, and I'm the curator of the Gutenberg Times. I also host a podcast, that's the Gutenberg Changelog. I'm also a WordPress core contributor, and I work for Automatic, and that's my workshop. So there's also the Vapu from the Gutenberg Times, and if you want to reach out to me, you can just go to bph.social, and you have all my LinkedIn links, Mastodon, any of that. And you can always ping me on any of those social networks, or you find me on the WP Slack, and definitely can talk to me there. If you want to talk about the talk afterwards. I'm going to be at WP Cafe, of course, but I'm also going to be at 4 p.m. at the Do the Woo booth in the sponsor section, we can continue the conversation there if you don't get all the questions answered here in this room. Yeah. So what's on the program for today? Well, we talk a little bit what is WordPress Playground, then why would you use it? We'll talk about some examples that are kind of easy to put together, and then we talk about what are blueprints, and then we create a blueprint to add a dashboard widget and a demo with a featured image to a Playground instance, and then, now that one went away, that's okay, and then we talk about resources to learn more. But we're going to do it on foot, so to speak. There are always a few blueprints around in the gallery, and I will show you then the link to that. But we do it today like we never heard of copy-paste and type it, okay? So what is WordPress Playground? It's a tool that lets you run WordPress instance in a browser. And that's pretty much magic to me. I have no clue how that works, but it's for web development. It's something totally new. You don't need a server, you don't need a database, you don't need hosting. It's just there in the browser, magic. Yeah? And then with Blueprint, you can even manage the configuration of that. So this is really cool. I'm totally fascinated by it. So it looks like this when you open it up on playground.wordpress.net. You have a 3-pane. Well, you actually get the right pane as a full screen, but when you click into it, you can get the 3-pane window with the left side that looks like a site editor, and then in the middle you get some settings for your Playground, and then the site itself. And we're going to use that particular interface to also create our blueprint later on. You can use Playground to build things, to test things, and to launch things. If you go to wordpress.org/playground, you have a little bit more ideas for use cases further on, how to use it, and not how, but why use it, and for which use cases. And every time I talk with people who have started working with Playground, they come up with new ideas on what to do with it. Yeah, just yesterday, I know somebody wanted to, how can I have a complex problem with my install, with my development work, how can I make other people see it? I said, yeah, you package it in a plugin, you put the content that matches that problem into a blueprint, and install the plugin, and then that link you can give out to somebody to look at things, why it's not working right, or what's happening. So that's actually also, that's part of the testing part. So I'm really fascinated. Another person asked, well, can I use it to teach kids how to write online? And so, yeah, of course. You just give them a Playground link, and then you're off to the races. So you can also use it to test a theme that you saw in the repo, and you want to put it. You put in question mark, theme equals, and then the slug. Same with a plugin. Question mark equals plugin. Question mark plugin equals Gutenberg. And then it opens it up and loads the plugin Gutenberg. You can also have other plugins in there. You can also use it for learning, having some code in there. So if you write a tutorial and you want people to change code, you can use the interactive Playground code block, and then you have on the left-hand side the code, and then on the right-hand side it shows exactly what happens when the code is run. So there's a lot of multitude of use cases there, and it opens a whole new world. Yeah? If you go to the plugin repository and look for the block visibility plugin, Nick Jago, the author of it, has a wonderful preview put together where you actually are pushed into a block editor with the plugin installed and see all the different ways how you can use that block visibility in a site. So you don't have to read the documentation, you don't have to figure it out when the documentation is not there, how that actually works. So this is, go and see it there, and you can always kind of look at, same with a theme demo that can be, you can put up the website there. So what are blueprints? We are there now. Blueprints are JSON files. JSON is this JavaScript notation that's a data source, data format for JavaScript. And it allows you to find the configuration in very granular for WordPress Playground environment. And it looks like that there. Yeah, that's actually part of what we're going to do in a minute here. What can you do with blueprints? If you follow the QR code, you go to the blueprints documentation, but you can figure the WordPress version, the PHP version, load the plugins and themes, as I mentioned, and then you can add an admin notice or dashboard content. You can add pages and posts in multiple forms. You can either use it with a WP CLI command, because you want to add 50 posts to the playground, or you can use a content export from a website and push it into Playground. You can also add files and plugins and run PHP. So the world is your oyster, so to speak. So are we ready to get our hands on the keyboard and start writing? So if you go to playground.wordpress.net, and I'm going to sit down because I'm better at typing that way. Before we go in there, and so everybody can catch up, are there any questions right now before we head deep into the JSON file of a blueprint? Okay. So when you go to playground.wordpress.net, you get this view. And there's a little, is it a hamburger? No, it's a kebab thing. There's some more space here, some more things here, and then there's some more things here. We're just going to go here on the left-hand side, and that's where you have, I increased the size of this. So normally you have on the right-hand side, you have another column, but it kind of went to the tablet size of it because of I did a 200 increase of it. When I go, and then we go, so that's the temporary playground site, Blueprints Gallery, that's a place where you want to go after my talk. And these are just safe playgrounds. And then you can follow these resources as well. But we are going here on the right-hand side to the 3 dots, and we click on View Blueprint. And that opens up on the left-hand side a code editor, and on the right-hand side is when you run it, it kind of loads a new instance of the blueprint and new instance of Playground. So that's a starting out thing. So the only thing what it says is kind of PHP 8.0 and WP, the latest version. You can also say 6.5, or if you want to test it for 4.9, you can do 4.9. And then we have the feature section. We have the login true. What I normally do, I kind of put the steps at the end of things. Here, don't forget the comma, just because once I have the setting out of the way, I can really concentrate on the steps. And then we are not loading any plugins, but we leave it in here so you can remember when you go back and want to catch up or do it again, that you can also load the plugins in here. So what I also do first is for any JSON file in WordPress, there is a schema available. And a schema for JSON means the IDE or the code editor can reference it and warn you when you find when you have mismatch of the available options or parameters or something like that. So the first thing we do is kind of put a schema in there, schema colon, and then it's HTTPS playground dot playground.wordpress. I'm a little nervous, so I make mistakes when typing, but then I might calm down a little bit later. So, and it's blueprint dash schema dot JSON. So that's the first thing that we do. Okay. So because when we go in here, and the logging true means your whoever is following your link to the playground will be automatically logged in, don't have to worry about admin passwords or username and passwords, except if you want to have someone who's using the playground for testing being an editor, then you need to create another user account, but we are not doing that here. But I have, what I also do is, with all my blueprints, I do site options. What are site options? Everything that's in the options table, you can put as site options in the blueprint. So site options, and then colon, and then I do, it's the curly brackets, because you can have multiple options in there. And one is the permalinks, permalink underscore structure, colon, and then post name. That's %, post name, %, and then /, and then comma. So what that does is, well, you all know what it does. It kind of gives you the nice permalinks for that, and we need that in a bit. So before I go further, I want to, whoops, no, that's not it. I want to, maybe I have a slide for that. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Yes, I forgot this. I wanted to tell you what we're actually gonna build. So one is we add a dashboard widget to the admin section, and then we also add content like free posts with a featured image, where you can link from your dashboard widget so people can follow along your demonstration. Of course, the content is just dummy content, but I actually added some pictures there and how that works. And we will have that dashboard widget later on, and we will have a set of 3 posts with featured in there. Yeah, so that's what we're aiming for. And if you want to follow along or catch up, here is the QR code to the GitHub repo of the whole thing. It's on the training team, and it has all the files. Yeah. So, oops, that didn't work. Oh, I'm not connected to the internet. That's unfortunate. So let's do it again. Yeah, so that's the GitHub repo with all the files that I do. We have the playground XML, we talk about it at the end of it. We have the Hello Dashboard PHP plugin, the widget file, graphics, and then the blueprint, and then the featured image, and the rest of it. Yeah. So you can always follow along on the blueprint JSON. That's where we end up later on. So, okay, so we're here. Yeah. So we were by the settings. So we have feature setting. We need to, so if you want to install themes and plugins or images that are not part of the instance there, you need to add a feature that's called networking of course. That's what I'm always forgetting. I forget the quotes. Networking, colon, true. So, and here, this one, it expects something. So let's see what that is. Well, let's run it and see how far we get with it. Though there's a syntax error. After property value, you have a position. But, say again?
You're missing a comma.
Of course, I'm missing a comma. I'm always missing a comma. Line 3. 2. Line 2. Okay, so go to the end, and yes, here, I miss a comma. And line 10, 2. Oh!
Also, the last step, you have a comma that you need to delete steps.
Yeah, that's the wrong one. Yeah, so see, the schema really helps you, and the line 14, everywhere is a comma missing. Okay, all right. So, okay, no, oh, no. Oh, after true. See, commas are important in JSON. Line 12, oh, it's all wrong. It's all wrong. Yeah, it's a quote too many. Yeah, so, but you see how the editor is helping you with things. Yeah, you don't have to figure it all out. And now line 12, what we do around? I need a quote here. It was on the wrong spot. See, the wisdom in the room helps me. We're still not done. We have 14. Yeah, here. We don't need one here. Yeah. Oh.
You need the dollar sign schema. The first line. Yeah, on the first line.
Oh, here, the schema. Need a dollar sign. See? Okay. All right. We got it. All right. Well, let's see if that's true. If I go here to my dashboard in Playground, and I go down to settings, well, see if that works. Yeah, a kind of settings. And then it was in writing, I think. No, it's in reading. It's in reading. Oops. That's a bug. Okay, do it again. Dashboard. Yeah, so that's a bug that you can't go back when you're in these modes here. Settings, reading, writing, reading. Yeah, starting page. No, permalinks. Oh, I'm so dumb. I'm sorry. Yes, we got the post name. Yay. So this all works now as we wanted to. And the next thing is, what I always do is I set the admin color to a more modern one. So that's a step now. We're coming into the steps. No, I have one setting more. So when you think about giving out the link to a playground, what is the first screen that people see? That setting is your landing page. And you can add it, so I add it always above the settings, so I can do landing page with a capital P, and I can do WP admin, and you saw that it was the welcome screen that was taking over the whole above the fold. So if I want to not have that, I just do question mark, welcome equals 0. And then you turn off the welcome screen on the admin landing page. Yeah, so when we click on run now, no mistakes anymore. Well, for now. And then see, there is no welcome screen anymore, right? And the next thing I wanted to do, start with steps. Steps are a little bit more elaborate. And the first step is that I update the user meta data for the admin user. So I go here into the steps and start a step, and then do colon, and then it's user. And you see, the schema helps me. It's update user meta, because I would never be able to remember those things. And then I have here comma, and then it's meta, and then, oops, and then the curly braces, and then it's admin underscore color. Oh yeah, but what do I miss? Quotes. Admin underscore color. That's why it's so happy, so easy to, and that's called modern. Modern. Yep. So, and, oops. My cheat sheet is going in pause. And then I do user ID. It's user ID : 1. No quotes. Do we need a comma? We don't need a comma. So when we run it, we need to have some mistakes here. Yes, I like it. So we have steps, user meta. Oh, I don't need that. No, I need that comma.
The step is missing curly brackets around.
Oh, here, yes, yeah. You're so smart. Want to come up here and do the workshop? Here we go. So, was that wrong? So step, meta. User ID. So, yeah. Like 17. Oh, each step needs a curly, right? Yeah. Whoops. So the meta, yeah, now that works. I think that works now. What do you think? Do you want to bet? Am I losing a bet again? Okay, so let's try it now. All right, cool. See, it's a little tricky, so it's good we do a workshop together. Yeah, and when, so the only thing what we did, we changed the color, right? But you see it's the much nicer blueberry kind of color for the active color. So that's one of the settings that I do. And then the next one is, not setting, step, is, that's pretty much my, my startup blueprint. Yeah, I have my schema, I have my preferred versions, I have my networking is true, that the automatic login, the site options, the landing page, and the admin user. So if you want, you can actually click here, that little save button, and say, okay, this I have, and then it will save on your desktop, on your local machine. So you have it on your, you can actually, yeah. Why doesn't it work here? Well, okay, so now we go to, now I need a theme. Yeah, I want to install the, in a step, the 2024 theme. Yeah, so we do, what do we do? Curly braces and step. And then we call it install, install theme, right? And then comma, and then it's data, I think it's theme data. Yeah, I can't remember all that. So that's where the documentation comes in. It's theme data, yeah, nice. And then curly braces. And then we do resource. Resource, you identify the resource as a URL. And then we need a comma here. And then the URL you define as the, no, resource is, yeah, WordPress.org/themes, but it's WordPress themes, and then the URL is not the URL, it's the slug, and it's 20, 24. It actually gives it to me. Nice. This is awesome. Okay. We don't need more. That works, I think. Yeah. Let's run it. Okay. You're better than my, yeah, the colon is missing. All right. You're better than my error handling thing here. So we still had come in at the WP admin, of course, but let's look at the appearance theme. And we have the 2024 theme installed and activated. Both things happen at the same time in this step. So cool. Any questions so far? See, it's very basic. It's really good. Yeah. So now I promised that we're going to do the dashboard. That happens in about 4 steps, or 3, 4. So first we need the. I go over to the to the GitHub, and when we go to code, you can grab that hello dashboard PHP file, and all it does, it looks like a plugin, and it is a plugin, and it has the dashboard widget WP add dashboard widget, and as well as the action for WP dashboard setup. And then we have here very small, and I'm increasing that. Actually the text for it, the rendering of the widget. And you see here we are linking to a playground guide, but that's a category in beautiful links, yeah, pretty links. So that's where we need also the permalink structure post name, so that works. So what you can do is kind of grab the link up here, and then we use it in our playground. You don't have to write the whole thing, but I show you the rest of it. So you need the plugin, and then you can add it to your blueprint in multiple ways. For now, we do it as a step. So we do the step, oops. I need a KE who does that, an AI to do that. So the first step is that we make a directory, mk dir, and then we, and that has the path, oops. And that's the path on the playground instance. So that's the WordPress, oops, / WordPress, that's the playground instance, and then where does it go? WP content, of course. Content / plugins. And then into the, we create the directory for the plugin itself, that's hello dashboard. Right, so, can you see all that? Well, kind of, right? So now we have the directory. Now we need to write the file into it. Comma, and then we have another step. And that is called write, oops, write file. And that does, we also need to tell it the path, because it doesn't know where to go. It doesn't remember that we already had that. And it's WordPress. Yeah, with a leading / WordPress.wp. I should copy paste it better. Content / plugins / hello dashboard, oops, dashboard. and then the file is hello. There's, damn it. There's close, right? Close. Dashboard, PHP. That's the file. We need to have Playground create that file so we can add the content to it. And then the data for the file comes from data, colon, and then, oops, colon. Curly braces, and that's the resource, is a URL. That's what I tried to do before. And then the URL itself is that GitHub link. URL, zip, and then colon. Yes. So, do we have everything gone? Oh, there's some quirk here. Yeah, we need a comma here. Okay. Well, then what do you know what you want? Oh, double colon. Yep. So it works. So let's see what that does. We make the dir, we write the file, we have the plugin, but the last step that we need, the fourth one, is to activate the plugin, right? So we go here for the next step. Curly braces, step, activate plugin, comma, and then what's the thing? Plugin path is the admin, plugin path. Yeah, it doesn't remember things. Hello dashboard. PHP. Is that right? Nope. There's another thingy here. Yeah, we need a comma here. And now, okay, so we make the dir, we write the file, we grab it from GitHub, and then we activate the plugin. And then we should have a dashboard now in our admin. Clear? Oh, I need another thingy here. All right, quote, okay. So when it, so I think that's a mistake to show the list of things that you can do and not put the quotes around it. I really would love that. That was great. So, does it work now? All right, okay, let's run it. Downloading 24, we're preparing the plugin, blah, blah, blah. And then, yay, we have the dashboard. Yay. Who followed along? Did you get there? Yay, yeah, super. Probably a half an hour before me, but that's a different story. So, that's pretty much, so we have one more step to go, but we have to think about things a little bit more before we do that. And I go back to my slide deck. So we did all that, we did the startup, we did the install, the theme, the admin color, and the default content. So that would be again, the GitHub thing, query. So we did that. Yes, we did all that, yes, ha. So content steps, that's the next bigger problem. This was all the warm-up, and you all followed along, that's fine. So when you want to have content added to the playground, you could do it with PHP and do it one post at a time. That's certainly possible. and the documentation has some examples for you there, but I thought a little bit more. So if you want to do some complicated content, like a theme demo or something like that, you probably are best run or work the best one when you use a local development system like Studio, WordPress, or your staging site, and create the content like you would in a WordPress website. Yeah, you create the posts, you create the featured image, you create the links amongst each other, and then you export that into an XML file, and then load that up to the GitHub or any other place where you have course settings in their course. The cross-resource sharing kind of thing. It's a security measure, and sometimes you can't from Playground go to another server and grab stuff. You can do it with GitHub, so that's kind of the preferred version. But if you have a server where you can actually allow Playground to connect with the server and put the blueprint there or the content there, that works as well. So you create the post, the pages, all the images, and then you export it via the WP admin tools and export, and have your XML file. And then you need to save the pictures also at the places and go into the XML file and replace one thing for the picture because it doesn't grab them, the Playground doesn't grab them. So I have here, that's a Playground XML file. I don't know if you see all that very much. So we're gonna do that away. So, it has, yeah, it's a little, it has the posts with a featured image, and the images are in the media file, but the importer needs the right URL for this line. For the WP:/attachment_URL, and that needs to be the file to the image that has access to. So what I did was I uploaded all the images to the GitHub and replaced this line for that particular. You only need to do the WP:/attachment URL, and the importer is doing the rest. It creates the other images that you need and links the two posts with the featured image. But this line needs to be replaced with the actual image file to access by Playground. Is that understood? Kind of, yeah. So you create all the content, you export it, you need to get into the XML file and replace those files. So I did a search in there, of course, a file, and search. Oh, this is small. It's under edit, that's why I don't find it. Fine. And so I did bracket WP attachment, and then it tells me, oh, attachment. And it says 3 of 3, so I was able to kind of go to the first one. I'm here, I go to the next one, yeah, and the next one, and I replaced the images of that. So that is relatively fair to do, but you need to be careful because this is only for educational purposes in my slides. The WP attachment URL and the C data and the end tag needs all to be on one line. That's very important, and if you wonder why it's not working, check that too. Yeah, because I tried it with this very beautiful, yeah, you know what it is, and yeah, but no, it needs to be in one line for it to work. And then that is the blueprint step that we're gonna do. It's, yes, 5 lines, or 4 lines with a link to the XML file that has everything else. So let's do this. And I'm doing a little bit faster. Go to my Playground here, and I'm gonna, yeah, so that's my step. Oops. Yeah, where am I? window. Nope. I'm here, that's my playground. Nope, that's my playground, yes. So, and I'm gonna add the step here, comma, and then the step. So we do the import WXR with the capital W. You can all see it, right? Yeah. And then the file, and then again the pattern with the tell me what resource you will use. It's a URL, and then tell me the URL for it. And you see here that it is the link to the playground XML file. So we'll run it. Okay, so we have the welcome to the playground, and now see if the link works. We go to playground guide, and yeah, we're here. Yeah, we got the featured image, and we got the part 1, 2, and 3 of your playground guide. Yay. So if I do it a little smaller, no, bigger. Yeah, we get the three things there. So that's our playground blueprint for a small demo. So now we can open it up to questions, or we can try additional things if you want to. Yes, over there. Wait, we need a microphone.
Hi. One thing I've noticed when you are trying to import either images or import an XML, the source host has to allow for hot linking. Because the browser is doing the request, if your host where you are hosting the images or the XML blocks hot linking of content, you cannot download the XML or the images. GitHub does allow it, WordPress.org does not allow it.
Yeah, not every server allows it. GitHub allows it for your repo, but if you, it's a little bit, it's not always consistent. Yeah? GitHub is a good way to do it if it's a public repo, then it works. You can also, if you want to totally be on the safe side, you can also use the raw.github user content domain, and that's also course safe. Just to repeat what's course, I have to look it up, so hang on. Course is, that's what you're talking about, that's cross-origins resource sourcing, and that's a security mechanism for web servers that you cannot from external website grab information from another website or web domain. But you can set it up if you have access to both. You can set it up that playground.wordpress.net is allowed to do that and nobody else, if you do demos, or you use GitHub public sites. Or I know also if you host it on Pressable, you could do it. Yeah, I have some of the things that I do on the Gutenberg Times that's hosted on Pressable, and when I test playgrounds, I'm gonna or blueprints, I'm just uploading there and kind of see if it works. But you can also do it locally. It goes a little bit too far now to get in, but you can also use the Playground CLI to test your blueprints from your local system. Yeah, so that's also possible, yeah. Other questions? That's just, I'm tired and I need to stretch. Okay, but there's a question over there.
Is it possible to insert blocks and so to watch the admin instead of the front end?
Say that again.
So now as the first page we have a WP admin. It would be possible to have like a new page and to insert a block, for example. Yeah, you can as landing page you can do everything that you do in a normal website. Yeah, you can just grab the URL and put that in your landing page settings. It could be the site editor. Yeah, for instance, when you want to teach people how to use a certain block or a certain plugin, you want to land them directly in the editor, or you can say, okay, I have in my
in my content demo, I have a page number 5. Yeah, that can be a landing page. Yeah, if you want to. But you need to make sure that that landing page is the number 5, because you cannot do it with the, yeah, you could do it probably with the permalinks as well, with a nice permalink as well, as long as you have it enabled in your blueprint, the permalink structure setting. Does that answer your question?
If I get it right, if you want to show a block, for example, you made a plugin that insert a block.
Yeah.
So I have to export the XML, import it, and then open it as a first page.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
You can either open it at the front page or on the front end or on the back end. Yeah. Yes.
Thank you.
Other questions? Okay, so I can share a few resources with you where you can learn more. Now that you have the basics done and you all succeeded in following me along. So we have a few resources. I'm going to go here and do the slideshow again. So testing. So the Blueprint Gallery is a place where you can look up a blueprint, how to set up a blueprint with a custom post type, yeah, and add a post for a custom post type because you have a plugin for that. Or you want to do, Gutenberg has some experimentations and you want to give people access to those experiments to test it out on a playground. Or you can do install a plugin from a gist. Yeah, we did it from a GitHub file, but you could also do it from a GitHub gist. Yeah, or we can, if you go to the playground, and here's the Blueprints Gallery. You can do the feed reader for the feeds plugin. You click on here, and then it goes the right-hand side. It goes to that blueprint. Or you say, okay, I want a demo for 2025 theme. How did we do that? And then you click on it. It does the import. The import takes a little while when you have a few more posts and pages, but well, let's just kind of wait for it because then it's really nice to see. So when you follow those, you can always look at the blueprint through that blueprint editor. Yeah, so that's the 2025 with some additional links there. Yeah, so that's how it kind of looks if you want to. So you could go to this little, I have forgotten how, yeah, it's kind of a little thing. And then you can look at the blueprint. How do I get to a blueprint? No, I don't. Oh. Go here. No. Oops. GitHub. So if you go to github.com WordPress/blueprints, you can kind of access all of them. And then here's a Blueprints Gallery. And from here, oops, I need to, it's a bit big. You know, when you say, okay, here's one for loading, activating, configuring a theme from GitHub repository. You just go either open in Playground, view the source, or edit it. Then you can go view the source and see what and that's how I started any blueprint. Is I kind of copy paste some of things over, yeah, and yeah, it's also the update user data, and then they install the theme, and then the import from the content. But he also did change some of the site options with the blog name and blog description. Yeah, what's the front page? Do the setting for the front page and do the settings for the page for the post. Yeah, so it's a little bit more. That's a theme demo. It's completely there. So that's a good resource. Another resource is the Playground in your browser landing page. Those are from the team, the resource, and then there is on the WordPress developer blog, there were three tutorials about what to do with a playground. One is about the WebAssembly, how it even works. Yeah, that's kind of the magic behind it. And how to introduce, run the browser, the WordPress in the browser, and how to do interactive demos. So that's all great resources for you. And then in that hallway hangout, it's actually using 3 tools to create a theme, to manage how a theme works, and then create a PR for a GitHub repo for a theme changes. So you use the Create Block Theme plugin, you use the Playground, install the Create Theme plugin, install the theme that you want to work with, and then go through the process and use Playground to push it to GitHub to a certain repo, and then it automatically creates a PR. So all the settings that you have in the database on the theme changes were with the Create plugin, Create Block Theme were added to the theme files, and then those theme files were pushed as a PR to GitHub. So it's kind of a good way to make a block theme without touching code, so to speak, but still have the version control in it. Yeah. So these are all good things to explore after this workshop. We are almost at the end. And I would, if you want the next step, the intermediate to advanced blueprint or Playground usage, go to the workshop tomorrow with using Playground for automatic testing with my buddy Barrow. Yeah, he's a great person to kind of talk a little bit more deeper into Playground and what to use with it. I will still entertain questions if you have some. I can do awkward silence. Oh, Barrow, here he is. Yeah, advanced Playground person. Didn't see you there. Right. All right, well, if there are no more questions, thank you all for coming. And have a nice afternoon and devour everything that you learned here. And as I said, 4 o'clock, I'm downstairs at the sponsor hall with the Do the Woo little booth. And if you have any questions, we can connect there. Thank you so much.